Noah, the Rockford Files, has this been a good experience for you professionally?
Oh, it's been wonderful. It's been 3.5 years of pure joy all the time.
Even though it might be the hot broiling sun or whatever, huh?
Well, we've had some physical hardships, but they all do, yes, even though it's something I look forward to each day.
I think that's one of the things that audiences often don't stop to think about, is that there is a lot of physical work involved in acting.
Especially on in this series, for example, there's a lot of very difficult, regular downtown locations. You know, they use the actual sites nowadays, and there's none of the comfort of the air-conditioned stage or any of that stuff. It's the real thing, but it's still a pleasure.
Jim's still happy with the series?
Well, he seems to be. He's the same nice self and working hard, but yeah, I think he is.
He doesn't threaten to leave every season like some who shall be nameless?
No, I've never heard him threaten to leave, ever. I'm sure if he wanted to, he would just leave, you know, and not talk about it.
Send a letter or something.
Yeah.
No, did you ever act with your father and your uncle? Did the three of you ever do anything at all together?
Not all three together. I did. I worked with my father in a couple of early serials, and I worked with my uncle in 20 Mule Team. But the three of us did not.
Yeah.
They worked together several times.
Was that a pleasurable experience?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they often said of 20 Mule Team, you know, I was the juvenile lead in that. The studio workers say that's the only time they ever saw Wally Beery give any juvenile a close-up.
And it was only because of nepotism.
That's right. And they weren't joking.
You have some really outstanding film credits. One that comes to mind is Sergeant York, and you worked with Coop. What was that like?
Well, that was fun. Of course, that was just it was a prologue that I did to it. But that was with Howard Hawks, who I worked for many times, and just to be with him was really a privilege, because he was such a master, and yet you never even really knew he was on the set, you know. I like that.
And then Spencer Tracy, you worked with him.
Yeah, I did six weeks in the front row of the courtroom. I don't think I said a word in the 6 weeks, and you look forward to every day. It was because all you could see was Tracy and Freddie March giving those wonderful performances day after day. It was a treat.
There are many people who say, of course, that Spencer Tracy is the finest film actor ever was, probably ever will be.
Well, he was a dandy. If he was the best, that's taking in quite a bit of territory,
yes,
you know.
It is.
He could be the best at some things, like anyone could, or the best to some people. Like, I thought it was great. I wouldn't say it was the best. I wouldn't say anyone was.
And then
He wouldn't say it, I don't think.
I guess he was quite a modest person.
Oh, yeah, he was a lot of fun, though. I never heard him speak of himself ever, unless it was slightly depreciating.
When you were doing Red River with John Wayne and Montgomery Clift, that was Clift's first movie, was it not?
It was his. Didn't he do The Men first? But Red River was the first release he ever had. Something like that. It was either one or two.
Well, at any rate, it was the film that brought him to the attention of the public.
One big jump.
Yes. At that time, of course, now there's a biography out, and
The guy called me when he was writing that. I forget what his name was, you know, for certain reminiscences. You know. But I didn't have any because we never saw each other again, although we were good friends on that.
Did you think he was a dynamite young actor?
Well, he was very effective, I thought, and he had a very good novel, at that time, technique, which was honest but interesting because of its, you know, newness and all. Yeah, he was good.
What was it, a more studied technique, or what was it?
I couldn't describe it to you. He was thinking every minute. You could see he was not what you would call an intuitive actor, at least to me. He looked like one who studied and formulated what he did.
Yeah. All very planned.
Yes, but he was great out of there.
Noah, we wish you continued success with the Rockford Files.
I do, too, and thank you for having me again here. Bye-bye. Well,